Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible for everyone? Okay, I will start my session. So, we have started the topic collection. Collection is the interface. In the uh, collection have the sub interfaces like list and queue and set. Queue and set. These three are the sub interfaces of the collection. So, under the list, we'll be having the classes like array list. Array list is the one predefined class which is available under the list interface, and linked list is the predefined class which is available under the list interface. Vector, stack, these two are legacy meaning old data structures. It has introduced like 1.0 version actually, 1.0 versions actually. So after this we'll be having the set. So what does it mean by set? So we'll try to understand one by one. Under the set we'll be having like has set and linked has set, preset. Okay, here we should aware what is the difference between the list and set, like why the JDK people has introduced two concepts, meaning why is there any purpose, what is the purpose of the list, and why the JDK people has introduced the set concept. So we need to first we need to aware the difference. We need to aware the difference. I will write clearly. We need to aware the difference. The first thing, like in the last two sessions we discussed about the list, like array list, I would say linked list. So in the last session we discussed with the list, array list, linked list, stack, vector. So these four classes we have completed. Now today's scenario, set is also one data structure. It is used to organize or arranging the data only. Set is also one data structure. List is also one data structure. Set is also one data structure. It is used to organize or arranging the data. Then why the JDK people introduce two concepts? We try to understand the difference between the list and set. So I will write the table here. Then we'll get the clarity. Why the JDK people has introduced two concepts. I will take the diagram, and so through the diagram, we'll get the clarity. I'm taking the diagram. So here I would like to take, here I would like to take, so this is the diagram actually. So this is the box. In this box, first the differences, we'll try to understand the differences. So first we'll take the set. First we will take the set. This is the set. First we'll take that set, and this is the list. We'll try to understand the difference. Like we have the two data structures. One is the set, second one is the list. Why the JDK people has introduced two concepts? We'll try to understand. The first difference is the first difference is insertion order. Insertion order. What does it mean by insertion order? What does it mean by insertion order? How we are adding the values, we can able to retrieve those values similar way. That is the insertion order. So I will tell you that one. So in the set insertion order, it won't follow the any insertion order. Any insertion order it won't follow. In the list, it is follow the insertion order. That is the one difference. And second difference, duplicates, duplicate values, duplicate values, duplicate values. Set doesn't allow the any duplicate values. I will take different color. Why the set is not allowing the duplicate values is the like behind we will have the one story, so we'll discuss that one also. Duplicate values set interface, like set data structure, it doesn't allow any duplicate values. In the list, it can allow the duplicate values. It can allow the duplicate values. It can allow the duplicate values. Next, null values. Null values. Null values both can allow. Null values both can allow. And next thing is index positions. Index based. Index based. Index based. So set is not index based actually. List is the index based. List is the index based. So in case of like the difference between the set and list, so we should remember uh, these are the points. First one is the insertion order. Set is don't follow any insertion order. A list, if you go for the list, it is following the insertion order. And duplicate values meaning it in the set it doesn't allow any duplicate values. List it allow the duplicate values. Index based set don't have any index base. It is the different data structure. And list is the index based, pure index based data structure. And null, it null meaning null values can allow both set and list. Null values allow both set and list. Okay, after discussion completed about the difference between the set and list, so we'll start session with the set. What does it mean by set? The first thing is set is the interface. It is the sub interface of the list. It is the sub interface of the collection. Set is the interface. It is the sub interface of the collection. Under the set, we'll be having the classes like hasset, hasset, and I would say linked hasset and tree set. So we start session with what does it mean by hasset? What does it mean by hasset? How the values will organize in the data structure? We'll try to understand about the hasset. We'll try to understand about the hasset. So in the hasset, the first thing you should remember, this one is the predefined class. This one is the predefined class. Predefined class available in the java.utils package. Java.utils package. Utils package meaning this is the already predefined class. This will be available in the java.utils package. Java.utils package. Next thing you should remember in the hasset, like these are the differences. I no need to write one more time. Like what are the differences you have? Like hasset also insertion order don't follow, and duplicates not allowed, and index based and null points are allowed. The same points you can comes under the hasset also. The same points. Whatever the points we have discussed earlier, like insertion order, duplicates, index based, null points, the same thing we can applicable in the hasset also. So after this, So hash set initial capacity is, it can able to store 16 objects. Initial capacity of the hash set is, initial capacity of the hash set is, it can able to store 16 objects. 16 objects. Okay, 16 objects. Like how the data will organize under the hash set, this is the important thing I will tell you. For example, this is the predefined class. Whenever you are making hash set h equal to new hash set, then what will happen internally? What will happen internally? So one object will be created. The initial size is the 16 size. The initial size is the 16 size. Like the object will be created. The object size is the 16 size, meaning the object can hold the 16 data, 16 variables. It can not it can hold the 16 type of data. It can hold the. Now how the internally process will happen? For example, if I want to add the values, h dot add 100, and next thing h dot add 200. So my requirement is I want to add these values to the hash set. How the data organized in the internally? How the data? So what will happen internally? Meaning it will be stored in the form of key value. I will be write the diagram. Then just a moment. This is my data actually. My requirement is I need to organize this data in asset like h1 add 300. So this is actual my data. I need to organize this data. So these values, this data will be stored in the hash set in the form of key value pair. So I will tell you like what does it mean by key and what does it mean by value. I will tell you. So again, basically you can remember, like whenever you are trying to add the data into the hash set, every data will be stored in the form of key value pair. So I will so this is the box. So here I would like to take so this is the key, and this is the value, this is the value, this is the value, this is the data. So whenever you want to store the data, so the data will be stored in the form of key value pair. Then what does it mean by key and what does it mean by value? So internally what will happen? Internally basically we will be having the two methods. One is the hash code method, and second one is the equals method. Hash code method and equal method will be there. So what these two methods will do? Basically you can assume this is the object, this is the object. So in the key place, here it will store the address of the object, and here it will store the object value, meaning object, whatever the data. For example, I will tell you very clearly. For example, we'll be having the objects like e1, and we'll be having the objects like e2. We'll be having, like in case of e1 e2, I will take the same values here. For example, you can assume this is the value also can assume this is the object, and 200 is the object. Now every object will be having one hash code. For example, 11 222 So here you can take any other 300. So here you can take 223. This is the address of the object. This is the object. You guys clear with my point? Clear with my point, or should I explain one more time? So I will explain one more time. You guys, could you please observe? So what does it mean by key and value pair? We are adding the objects. Object meaning data in the form of key value. So here the question comes, what does it mean by key and what does it mean by value? What does it mean by key and what does it mean by value? Key meaning address of the object. Address of the object. Value meaning object only. Value meaning object only. For example, here we'll be having the objects like E1 is the one object, E2 is the one object, E3 is the one object. So multiple objects will be there. Every object will be having the hash code. Every objects have like hash code. This is the one hash code for the object, and I'm taking this one as a example. 333. This is the hash code you can assume. This is the hash code you can assume. This hash code will be stored in case of in the key table, and these are will be stored in the key table, and these reference objects will be stored here. Here, for example, the same table I will be take here. I will be taken here. We can assume here. This is the key, and this is the value. This is the value. For example, hash code is the 111. Hash code is the 111, and this reference object is the E1. Next hash code is the 222, and this object will be stored here, E2. Next hash code value is the 333. This object will be stored here, E3. E3. So in this format, the data will be organized under the hash set. Under the hash set. This much is clear. Anyone have any questions? So I will explain this one more time. Like some might be, they might be confused in this. I will explain one more time. So under the collection, we'll have the two interfaces. One is the list and set. List and set. So what is the difference? Why JDK people has introduced two concepts? Already you have the one list data structure. Then why the JDK people has introduced two concepts? Because we have some differences. What are the differences? First one is the insertion order. Insertion order meaning how you are adding the values. The same values, the same order you can able to store in the, you can organize same way. That is the insertion order. In case of test, it doesn't follow any insertion order. It doesn't follow any insertion order. But in case of list, it follow insertion order. Why? Because we are adding the values based on the index position only. That's why, like how you are adding the values, the same values will be stored in the data structure also. The same values will be stored in the same way. This is the index based. This is the index based. And duplicate values. Duplicate values in case of set doesn't allow duplicate values. Why? Because for example, the hash code, every object will be having the hash code. So in the like a hash code will be generated the hash method. For example, if I have the same object, for example, if I have the same object E1, the same object will be having the same, I would say, same address. Then what will happen? Already we have already same hash code. Then it won't allow. Then it won't allow. So that's why what I'm saying, duplicates are not allowed. Duplicates are not allowed. But in case of list, duplicates you can allow. This is the index base. You can add any value, no issue. Duplicates also you can add, no issue. Next thing, index based. So it doesn't support the index base. It is the like key value pair. This is the key value pair. So set is the Based on the key value pair, you can organize the data. List is the index based. It supports the index based. Next, null values. Null values both can allowed. Next, after this, under the set we'll be having the classes like hasset. uh, Hasset is the predefined class. It is available under the java.utils package, and java dot uh, java.utils package. Its initial capacity is 16. Its initial capacity is 16, and how the data will organize internally. Whenever you create the object got created, but there is no data. Whenever you are trying to add the data, then internally it will happen like this. For example, this is the object, we are showing the object, and this is the object. Every object will be having the address, object of the address. The address will be stored in the key, and the object will be stored in the object. Object is nothing, object and values both are same, so this will be stored in the here, and address will be stored in the key. In this way, we can store the data, we can organize the data. So this is the structure of the asset basically. So we need to know how the internally the data is organizing, how the data is organizing. So for like here the generating the hash code, so we'll be having the predefined method, that is the hash code available under the object class. With the help of this one, so it can we can generate the hash code, and the data will be stored in the key and values. The data will be stored in the key and values. So this is the thing. Only like you need to know how to organize the, how to arrange the data in hasset. Data in hasset. The programs is like similar, like how will you write in the last session, the same thing. So I will write here the code for the hasset. Launching my Eclipse. My Eclipse is open. Just 1 minute. So in this case, you should remember like how the data is we are organizing. We are organizing the data in the form of key value pairs. Asset initial capacity is 16, and we are organizing the, initially we are organizing the 16 objects. Whenever you are creating the object, then new asset will be created. New asset will be created. So I would like to open my Eclipse. This is the linked list. So in this case, I am deleting the linked list. I would like to create the asset. Simply object asset is the predefined class. Asset is the predefined class. So I am taking asset h equal to new asset. I need to import the package. I need to add the values like h dot add, can add any values. Now I am taking some values like Java, and I am taking JavaScript, and I am taking some new values like React.js. So this is the thing I am, and I would like to take one more thing also. You can take anything. So now I am taking some Angular also. I will take. I am saving the file. So I want to retrieve. I want to retrieve. So how can I retrieve? For example, if I sysout sysout statement, and if I pass the h, control s, if I run the file, then you will get the result like this: Java, React.js, and Java, React.js, and but we'll be having the for each loop. For each loop. So how will you get the, with the help of, how will you retrieve the these values with the help of for each loop? How will you retrieve the values with the help of for each loop? We need to use the for each loop for, and these all are the objects. So I will mention objects O equal to is to h, and so sysout, here I would like to pass the O. I would like to pass the O. Hmm? Yeah. No, actually we are storing all the values here. We are assigning these values to here. This one is the object. So this is the reference variable. We are storing this reference variable data type is the objects. Now we need to call. We need to print the this one. We need to print this one actually. So I would like to print this one. So here only we need to mention this is. Here only we need to mention this is actually. Okay, this one we'll see, but we can add the values like this, like Java, JavaScript, React.js. What I'm doing, we are adding the values. So internally the values will be stored like this: key and value, key and value, key and value. Like so, this is the thing. The only the thing is in the asset. In case of asset, we can able to store the we can arrange the values in the form of key value pair, key value. Okay. So this much is clear, everyone. I will take Java task. So we'll try to see Control F, asset. Same methods, whatever the methods we have observed in the last sessions, like list, the same methods: add, size, contains, remove, clear, is empty. Same methods, okay? The same methods. Same methods. Next concept is linked asset. So we'll try to understand the only the difference for the I would say has set and linked asset is insertion order. Insertion order. For example, if you can observe here, Java, JavaScript, okay. This is the second thing is linked asset. Linked asset. The both are similarly same. Linked asset. The difference is insertion order. The difference is insertion order. Asset is not follow any insertion order. It not follow like insertion order. Insertion order. Insertion order. Asset don't follow any insertion order. It don't follow any insertion order. But in the linked asset, it will follow the insertion order. It follow the insertion order. Only this is the only the difference. Remaining all are same. How we are organizing and the difference and the thing, remaining all are the same. All are the same. Only the difference is asset and linked asset is the insertion order. Insertion order. Asset it doesn't follow any insertion order. Linked asset it will follow the insertion order. For example, you can observe like here I have given Java and I have given JavaScript React.js. But you can observe here like asset is not following any insertion order. Asset is not following any insertion order. So that is the like only the difference between the asset and linked asset. But remaining all the things are same, like storing the data and initial capacity. Everything is the similar to asset only. Only the difference is insertion order. So I will take here linked asset, linked asset, the same thing I will take here, a linked asset. I need to import the package. Now you can observe what will be get the result. Now you can observe Java, JavaScript, React.js, Angular. The only the difference is insertion order. Insertion order. So linked list follow the insertion order. Linked list follow the insertion order. Asset doesn't follow any insertion order. Asset doesn't follow any insertion order. Only the difference between the asset and the linked asset is this one only. Any question, anyone? The same. The both are easy actually. So this is the difference. The difference between the set and the list. After the set, we are organizing the data in the form of key value pair. So how we are organizing in the asset, the same organize will be happen in the linked asset also. The same process. Only the difference is insertion order. Asset doesn't follow any insertion order. Linked asset follow the insertion order. This is the only difference between. This is the only the difference between them. This is the only the difference between them. So this much is clear. Anyone have any queries? Asset and linked asset. Any questions, anyone? So next concept will be having the tree set. So tree set meaning it will be stored in the form of tree format actually. So I will tree set. In case of tree set is also predefined class. So that is the first point. Tree set is also predefined class. Predefined class. It is available under the java.util package. Java.util package. And next thing in the tree set, so it is the subclass of the set interface. And next thing is the data will be organized in the form of tree format. the data will be organized in the form of tree format. The data will be stored in the form of tree format. Tree format. Tree meaning, so how, like the initially tree will have the root. This is the one root. This is the one root. Whatever the value, for example, I will take right now. I will create one object for the tree set. For example, tree set t equal to new tree set tree set tree set. So this is the reference variable. Now I'll try to add the values like t add 30 and next I would like to add the t add 40, t add 50, t add 50. So here the values will be stored in the, like it will be having the internally compare to method will be there. So internally it will compare to method will be execute, and based on the, like the value 30 will be stored in the starting. So like normally the tree will be have the root. So in the same way, the data will be also stored like this. And next thing 40, and next thing it will be stored the 50. And if you take any data like t dot 60 and t dot 70, so it will be stored in the tree format actually. It will be stored in the tree format actually. So in the tree set, basically the data will be organized in the form of tree set. So this is also very important data structure actually. The data will be stored in the form of tree data structure, like how the tree will be having initially one root, so after that the stem, and after that branches, and after that so in the same way in the tree set also the data will be stored in the format of tree set only, tree set only. Like based on that the steps, like whatever the steps will be having the same steps, this one also, like insertion order and duplicates, index base. So all the things we can applicable here also. For example, I will write one program, preset, from here to here. I will remove this one, remove this one. Preset, no preset. Just simple import. Why? Because this is the predefined class. Now I would like to add the values. T dot add. The methods all are same. T dot add. So here I would like to take some 500 value, and the same values I will take few more values. Few more values I would like to take, like this is the 501, and this is the 502, and this is the 503. So whenever I am adding the values will be stored in the tree format. Tree format. So sysout statement, I would like to write the sysout statement, and I would like to print the t. I would like to print the t. Then if I run the file, you can get the data. The thing is, in case of set, we need to remember how the data is organizing. How data is organizing. In case of list and hash set and linked hash set, the data is organizing in the form of key value. In case of tree set, the data is storing in the form of tree format. In the form of tree format. In the form of tree format. So in case of set, so these are the concepts like hash set, linked hash set, and tree set. Hash set, we are organizing the data key value pair, and linked hash set also we are organizing the data key value pair. only the difference between the asset and linked asset is only the difference is insertion order. Asset doesn't follow any insertion order. Linked asset it will follow the insertion order. Only this is the I would say the difference between the asset and linked asset. Asset and linked asset. In case of tree set, the data will be stored in the form of tree set, in the form of tree format. How the tree tree normally it will have the root and then stem and then branches. So in the same way, this is the root and the remaining values will be add in the form of tree data structure. Tree data structure. So this is all about this one. So I will share the notes related to it and assignments also. Please go through it, do the assignments, and you can share in the groups itself.